Here we are. We're here. Let's go.
We're here.
Wow.
Good start.
Episode 93 of Mysteries of Selindor. We are picking up today after a long rest because we have finally exited that stupid cauldron, which was very traumatic. Mirima got left behind. A bunch of people died. Zephyr died. It was very sad. And now Oren has decided to bury his emotions in his project that he's making for the school competition in 2 weeks. And the rest of us, well, Grim was doing his own mushroom things, probably. And Dropsy and I were researching things in the library. So we learned about some monsters that were big problems. And now we have a council meeting to go to, so...
Is that it? That's your recap?
That's my short version of what I already read to the players.
Yeah, I remember you just read like a whole block paragraph.
It was 5 paragraphs, and I didn't want to go through it again, so that's the short version.
Okay, well, as you guys come to consciousness in, I believe, your dorm rooms? Question mark?
Probably. That would have been the closest place to spend the night.
I think, so some of you guys are leaving from the High Realm Tower. Some of you are waking up in a field of mushrooms on the top floor of a phallic-shaped tower belonging to the Feywild Teaching. And depending on where Bropsy went to bed, I assume that she's waking up in a room that is lived in by a draconic quadruped known as Azurus. Because she spends a lot of time when you're not there, sleeping in your room and tearing up your bed and all of that stuff. So,
I nest and fluff anyway.
So unless anybody has anything different, you wake up in your respective dorm rooms and come to consciousness. What would you like to do?
Breakfast at the hall.
Oh yeah, big old spread as usual at High Realm Academy. The greatest benefit to going to the school is definitely the spread on the table in the
beds are pretty comfortable too, except for the fact that you can't share them with anybody.
Yeah, but that depends on your school. This is like regular tuition. Everybody gets to go to the banquet hall.
And sleeps on the dirt.
Yeah, so he sleeps in a pile of mushrooms on the top floor of his tower. So, yeah, it's morning. You guys managed to pull together a pretty nice breakfast. It does look a little bit less crowded than usual. You're not sure if people have been pulling all-nighters working on different projects for the pentathlon coming up, or if maybe they're all up top investigating the rain that you guys can still hear hitting the outside of the tower.
Yeah, we should do something about that, probably.
It's just water.
Do we start selling flood insurance?
Can make a killing.
I would say by the design of Selindor, you're probably fine.
It's the lower levels that need to worry.
Yeah, it's the entirety of
the crystal, whatever.
The Crystal Undercity. Even the Crystal Undercity has a very, very good drainage system. Which is surprising considering that it never rains there. But you guys have been down there and noticed that there is like an actual pit where water flows through on the entire surround, shaped like a sea around the Crystal Undercity.
Give it time, the pit will overflow.
All right, well, anyways. So you are having breakfast.
Breakfast.
What would you guys like to do?
I mean, Grim's gonna be working on his.
Were we given an exact time that we had to be at the council chambers,
No.
or were we just waiting to be summoned?
Just told in the morning
to go there, or
they said that there would be a council meeting in the morning that you guys were expected to arrive at. But you weren't given any specific instructions.
I will call Hyacinth.
All right, you call Hyacinth, and she says, "Hello.
What time is the council meeting?"
First light.
Oh, all right. We'll be there soon.
Okay.
Round everybody up.
As you get everybody together, I assumed you guys went to bed pretty early the previous night. That was my assumption.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
As you guys get yourselves together, is there anything you guys want to do in the tower before you head over?
I'm gonna grab a
book of the celestial runes, like a picture book?
Sure. Okay.
Do we have to sign up, or like, is it? Or we good?
Sign up for what?
Stuff.
Yeah, well, you certainly need to be doing that, but you've got 2 weeks till the actual event starts.
Okay, so you don't have to sign up like in advance or whatever, like well in advance.
Sort of in advance. Definitely at least a week before.
Okay. But we don't have to do
probably...
that like right now.
You don't have to do it right now.
Okay.
So as you guys continue stuffing your faces with whatever breakfast they have vegetarian and meats and all kinds of things that you could possibly imagine. Sure. And as you guys get yourselves ready and step into the teleportation circle at Logic's Landing, you find yourself once again in the Nexus. Which I guess you guys are allowed to do. It just occurred to me that there shouldn't just be like a one-way thing to the Nexus from there.
Yeah.
But,
well, we have permission because we're.
But yeah,
I feel like somebody could have arranged that for us.
To save you guys some time, the teleportation circle that actually goes to the Nexus from there is at. You have to go to Headmaster Primus's place.
Okay.
When you go there,
Alright.
you guys knock. But I just want to save you some time and not make you go look for it.
Okay.
You can arrive at the singular teleportation circle in the middle of the thing. It just doesn't go out the other directions. My bad.
They still haven't told us what this meeting's about, have they?
Well, we can assume it's about all the stuff that just happened in the cauldrons and the new threat that is coming out of there.
As you guys step out into the Nexus through your teleportation circle, you find yourselves looking out and the familiar discs sort of hovering around the space from disc to disc, colliding into one another, gripping onto the inside of this core that rises through the Nexus itself. You can see that on the interior of each of the 12 different stalks, the 12 trunks that make up the Selindor tree, the different worlds, some of them also appear to be reigning inside. It's as if like the whole of creation seems to be reigning at this moment. As you approach the center where the chasm reaches down all the way to the Crystal Undercity and all the way up through to the canopy above, you do recognize the sort of shell-colored structure, or shell-shaped structure with a sort of pearlescent color to it up in the cone of the Selindor tree. And you can see that there are a bunch of discs sort of like moving around. How would you guys like to proceed?
We know where because we've been there before, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you recognize that that's where the council chamber is. You see the disc. You guys don't have a disc though. So.
How?
I told you a long time ago that you guys could get yourselves fashioned a disc, and you guys just went straight to the cauldron. So. Yeah,
that completely went over my head. I look for the disc we've ridden on before, like Hyacinths.
That is not present.
Are there any discs present?
Make me an investigation check. Actually, just a perception check is fine.
Can I assist him?
Sure.
Rather than, I mean,
that's a 14.
14? Yeah, you see some discs.
I mean, that's without advantage.
Are any of them heading towards the council, past us towards the council that we could, flag down?
I mean...
Or empty.
Or empty.
So there are some empty ones. With your 14, you notice that there are a few empty discs that are sitting on ground level. You're not sure, they're plain discs. They don't even have a whole lot on them, as far as you can tell. But you do see one that seems to be heading up. What did you roll, babe?
Oh, I mean, I didn't roll.
Yeah, roll.
Forgot to mute that again. The 33.
33. Yeah, you see one that's headed its way up there. It appears to be what looks like sort of black sand and scorched earth sitting on top. And there's this little old man who is just sort of walking around. And as he gestures his hand over, you can see that he's kind of tending to some sort of, I don't want to say it's a garden because it just seems to be different things growing on bones. But he's walking around and he's just kind of like gesturing over them. And he's just kind of checking them out, and he seems to be heading in that direction.
Seti will try to get his attention. Just, hello there, good sir. Could we possibly hitch a ride to the meeting? We've been summoned, but we don't have a disc.
He turns and like he's got this like really gnarled, like twisted stick, and he's got an eye patch on, and he looks at you all wearily for a moment, and he goes, "Which direction are you headed?"
To the up. She points to the meeting.
You could get a ride if you want. Sure. I'll come pick you up then. I'm headed there myself.
Appreciate it.
He watches the disc, he just taps doom, doom, with his stick, and it just starts headed down in your direction. It's slow moving. It takes about 2 minutes to get there.
Mitnir's gonna go stand on one of the empty ones and just stomp on it with his foot, like he did with the staff,
Nice.
just to see if it moves.
Yeah, you go and just yeah, nothing.
Kicks it and walks back.
As this thing docks and arrives, you see that what it looks like he was tending to on the ground. It looks like he's actually just tossing what appears to be birdseed onto a pile of skulls and like into the skulls. And he's like, "Come aboard.
Thank
No
you.
reason to stay there. Welcome.
Appreciate the lift. This was
Name's Humphrey. Nice to meet you."
Humphrey. Nice to meet you. I'm Seti. Mitnir, Bropsy, Grim, Oren.
New death. Doom doom.
Yes.
It begins to rise. I've heard many things about you.
Well, I hope they're
All
good.
of them true. Wait, should they all be true?
It depends what he's heard.
What have you heard?
Oh, I heard that you are a very rambunctious bunch. So,
True.
Yeah.
it's good to see that you are all doing well after your most recent adventures.
Well is relative, but we made it out at least.
Well, I'm glad that you are all prepared for this meeting coming forward.
I hope so. It was short notice that we found out about it, but this is really fascinating. What can I ask? What is going on here? With she'll gesture towards the skulls and the.
Oh, I have a friendly pet bird that I like to hang out with sometimes. He finds it interesting to go looking for his seed.
Oh, I see.
So I find it a good way to make him enjoy the time.
Sure, right.
In skulls?
Oh, well, it could be anything really, but skulls, I find those to be relaxing. Especially after you have defeated an enemy, to claim and keep it, so hey, there's that guy's skull. He's probably not getting up anytime soon.
I mean, that makes sense. I can.
You can be a bit worried sometimes that they will get back up and they will try to kill you. So
The problem ones are the ones that get back up without their skull.
oh yes, those are very few and far between. I have seen a Tulahan before, but to be honest with you, I'm more threatened by people who have heads than without.
But have you seen a Hydra? They lose lots of heads and skulls, and they just keep going.
I have heard of Hydras. I have not fought one myself, but I have seen them combat with a muscular fellow before.
Yes, all those heads are a problem, so.
Oh, there is my friend. And you watch a raven just like lands down on the ground. He says, "Hello, buddy." He starts whispering in some strange language that you guys don't understand at all.
Mhm.
He's forgotten.
Ah, I'm crashing again. God damn it. Why does this only happen when we're streaming? I don't
At least it
understand.
wasn't a very climactic moment.
Says, I put in something shiny there for you. So go digging and maybe you will find it.
Oops.
You never shared music either.
I'm working on. I did share it the first time. I'm working on sharing it again. It takes a minute for me to get everything back up and running.
Yes.
All right.
So says, good. We should be arriving soon. It's good to see that you are all doing well, and we should proceed after you. And as it docks up on top, you see as you're approaching that there are a fair number of discs there. And when you arrive, his is probably the smallest disc you've seen. His was only about 10 feet across. There is one disc that is here that's about 3 acres. And when you arrive there, you see that there was a full-blown, beautiful mansion made out of like white marble pillars and gold inlays throughout the entire thing.
Can we get one like that? Just points at it.
I think it's a bit much.
A lot of money. You can do pretty much anything.
Well, thank you very much for the lift. We really appreciate it.
He starts walking, and he's got like his hand over his back. He's like, back pain. It's one of those days, you know. Sometimes you wake up and things they just don't feel good on your back. You know, get to straighten it up. And his raven, lands on the edge of the top of his stick. He's like, "Let's go, guys." Eh? And he begins heading inside.
I'll follow.
As you do, you see these constructs standing on either side of the door, these large, muscular... It's strange to say muscular, considering they seem to be made out of some sort of, like, mechanical inner workings, and yet there seems to be just, like, the sort of... Like, they are too strong for their own frames. As you pass by them, they just sort of, like... Go back to looking forward. Say, oh, yeah, good morning to you, too. And as you guys head inside, you see that there are beams of light cascading down to a few different chairs.
Oh, I just remembered I definitely understood what he said to the bird, because I understand every language now.
Oh. Well, I don't remember what I was thinking he was saying at that time.
It's fine.
Yeah. So as you guys approach, you see that there is one individual who is bathed under what appears to be like an amber glowing light in a small chair that is made out of twisted ornate wood. You see a very dashing looking gnome. At least he would look dashing if you particularly liked individuals with large ginger mustaches. His hair is incredibly well kept. He's got his legs crossed in a cane. And he is wearing the most finely tailored suit you have ever seen on any individual. There is Lord Rock sitting on a chair that seems to be made out of the same material as his own flesh, just sitting back, completely relaxed and bathing in a. I don't remember what color his light is, so I don't want to mess with it too much. I want to say it was like greenish, emerald, probably. And then you see the old man you were just talking to walks across and sits down in a chair that seems to be made out of old stone that has carved runes all over it. It's jagged and rugged, and he sits down and he says, "Hey, how's it going, old man?" And he turns and looks, and then you hear, "Hey, don't be talking to me like that, eh? It's a bit early in the morning to be talking like that." And you look over and you see there's a dwarf just sitting on what appears to be a black marble throne with gold inlays twisting through it. He's like, sorry, my voice for him was really bad already. Don't talk like that, friend. Come on, we are good. Close, comrade. That's Russian. What is wrong with me today? I can't do
It's fine.
an accent.
Just go with it. Just go with it.
It's fine. It says, "Hi, everyone. It's me, a dwarf, talking in dwarf talk. I don't know why I keep slipping into Russian. But he's kind of Scottish sounding, I would expect. Jesus Christ. Right back to Russian." So he's sitting in this chair, this muscular buff dwarf with a hammer just sitting heavy on the edge of his completely square cut throne. Bathing under a light that appears to be fire itself, you see a large muscle-on-muscle orc with big, thick tusks that's just sitting on a chair that looks to be made out of like black cubic metal, or not black, like sort of silvery cubic metal. You make an intelligence check for me, Seti, because you've seen this kind of metal before.
Alrighty, that is a 5.
Never mind. But there's an orc sitting on what appears to be a metal chair. And then you see, gosh, what does his chair look like? Oh, a throne of bones under rust-colored light. It's just a pile of bones. You see a guy sitting there. He's handsome, pale. He's a little bit gaunt. His eyes are completely black, as is his short, messily cut and styled hair. And he's just sort of sitting there, just like staring at the ground, completely like this, just like he's half passed out in his chair. You see that Havar is here, who is the air djinn. And then you also see that there's like a total of 9 individuals here. You see Lord Iris is standing and walks over towards you and says, "Good morning, daughter, and the rest of you.
Morning.
We'll be proceeding here shortly. We're waiting for one more from our 3 to preside as neutral judges. I'll be presiding today because Lord Primus is busy with the pentathlon and frankly is not privy to this discussion anyways."
Really? I was under the impression he would be here.
Well, he's been filled in on the information he wanted to know. But if you'll find your spot, we can get started. And you guys are just gestured towards the center as one more person walks in and his eyes kind of flash over you. Okay, she's here. And you see a woman who is pallid and gaunt with long dark hair that covers most of her face. She walks in and sits under an olive-colored beam on a chair that is made out of black ivy with green flowers growing out of it. She looks at you guys for a second. Her eyes kind of meet yours, like these sort of like green olive eyes meet yours, and sort of like, and then walks over and sits in her chair.
I am looking at her a little suspiciously.
Is Mushroom Lady there?
She is not.
Is the celestial person there? Shantio? She
is not. As you all sit down, you hear Lord Iris say, "Today I will be presiding judge out of character. As we all know, Lord Primus is not to be privy to this particular meeting. We have Tau here from Tartarus representing, Lord Rock representing his neutral party, and also Mr. Gold." "Of course, sir. I'm more than happy to be here," says Mr. Gold sitting on his chair. "Well, the rest of you, I'm sure you will wait till your proper time to speak and not have any outbursts."
"I'll talk when I wanna talk. Telling me otherwise is just rude and not nice."
"Very well, Brogtrue. It is noted in the logs."
"Thank you. I will speak when I like."
"Do you have something to say?"
"No."
I like him.
That's the orc, right?
Yeah.
And then what? Can we get that name again?
Brogtrue. Make a religion check. Anybody who wants to.
Oh boy.
I'll
16.
do that since I'm proficient.
13 for a +0. That's not bad.
Let's roll to 20.
17.
15.
What did you roll, Grim?
20.
20. So you actually have heard of this individual. This is an orc god, and he's going by his actual name.
Oh, brave.
Sitting there just flexing
I
and
had
making.
just assumed it was a fake name, considering, you know.
It's like as they all reach their position and everything, they say, "All right, well, thank you. That will be noted. The rest of you, if you can be seated and prepare. New Death. It has come to our attention that you've completed all 3 of the cauldrons of Aegar. It was something that we didn't even know how to do. We were too afraid to enter with some of our more powerful entities, as they might be lost. And for that, we are grateful. However, we do require a report from you as to the goings on within the cauldron. We have several that have investigated the area, and I will have you know that the situation is currently stable. There are no chance of whatever, from cursory reports that we received, anything being capable of exiting the cauldron at this time.
Good.
However, a report from you is really all we need going forward here for the beginning of this meeting. So if you can, to the best of your recollection, tell us exactly what happened within the cauldron of life. I believe it was the one you had most recently cleared. So, you don't need to tell me everything that happened.
I was going to say, yeah.
I would like for you to instead tell me if there's anything that you omit or lie about.
It's a lie about.
I don't love telling them that we figured out that we have the other key piece that we thought was missing.
Mm-hmm.
So I might just omit that because it's not something relevant to like what happened in that cauldron.
Okay.
Grim will mostly just brag about Mr. Tentacles.
Yeah, so you guys kind of show off your little hovering babies that are there, and tell them about the fruit and the fact that it was a monster creating mechanism and all that.
A nice 5-minute rant about the asshole dragonborn we met at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Said he cast silence to get him to stop ranting. Oh no, I think I dropped that. I can't do silence anymore.
You just elbow.
Well, it is good to know that he is no longer a player. We will update our plans and we will let the Infernals know that their champion has been slain. Thank you for your report. Also, it is a great loss to us that we no longer have the capacity that we might have received had we unlocked this cauldron to create monsters on siege machines to fight against what is to come. But you have done well. This Lifespring Cradle, the piece of key that you received there, you said it is keyed to you?
It contains the spirit or essence of the being that I made. So, whatever that means. Igor said it needed a sacrifice like that to give it the strength to be turned.
I see.
If there is a personal connection to me, I don't know. It was not.
It was that.
It was the best we could do in the moment.
I don't know if you're remembering this, but it was said that you would be required to turn the key to activate it.
Said he
you're-
personally.
Said he
Okay.
personally, because you have a connection to.
She would
Your-
remember. Yeah.
So his question is, are you telling them that or not, that you were required for the key to be powered and work?
Uh,
Probably a good idea to tell them that, I would think.
is
'Cause it
or
would keep
isn't?
them from keeping it from us.
Yeah, I think she didn't intentionally gloss over it. Like she just kind of like, it was a very traumatic moment for her. She kind of just like forgot about that part. And then as he's like saying that, she's like, yeah, no, yeah, it is. I have to be the one to turn it. I think. I didn't choose. It was only us there, and that's just how it happened.
This sounds dumb. All of them are so weak and puny. Except that one. And he's still pretty small.
That's true, bro. True. They are smaller than you are in size. But thank you for your input. It will be noted in the logs. So, you are required in some capacity to turn the key. Turning it yourself, I would be quite surprised at, considering the energies required and the impossibility of doing it prior to now. But as such, I believe it is probably in the best interest of the council to decide how this key piece shall be treated. Lord Primus is currently keeping a piece within his halls. The question is, what do we do with this now newly discovered second piece? So, Lord Ronk, Mr. Gold, Tal. Let the floor open for discussion. Your decision to be made. Please come and let us know. So everyone starts talking for a moment, and then you hear
It's like, alright then, fine. You could always leave it to me, you know. I've got a great, open, huge vault I could keep it in. Not to mention the fact that anyone who tries to get through into my realm to take it, well,
I'm sorry to mention this to you all, but we already know that these artifacts cannot leave Selindor.
ha! Then I'll just make a new vault for it. Eh?
And this is a plan to be considered. I have within my realm a place that I can put it, I think. Not entirely sure, but I think so, says Lord Rock. I think that there's a good spot for it down in the Crystal Undercity, but there are many places where we could hide such a device.
It's all the same to me. As long as one is kept neutral, as we know, but the others, I believe, should be kept in the same accordance as the council. Someone from the lower out of range should probably keep a piece. And then some from your hoity-toity upper place sword can keep another. Of course you want the third and final, don't you? You definitely wish for the second to be with us.
I immediately say no to that. You see this squirrely bitch? No offense, Tal, but that's what you are.
Do you want me to come over there and rip out your throat, Horde? I'd be oh so pleased to watch you drown in your own blood. Or would you perhaps let you slip something into your glass at the next banquet you host?
You see, like, she gets to spit little bits of black come out of her mouth. And then he's like,
Please try it. Please. I'd love.
silence. As you all know, as I preside here currently, I have the highest modicum of power, and I have the highest level of threat. If you're all going to behave this way, I will make an example of you.
Sure. Whatever you say, Iris. We'll concede the situation.
Oh, how big of you.
So, I think it's important.
Oh god, that's a completely different voice.
I think it is important, though, the rest of you, that we talk about maybe what New Death thinks. Yeah? They seem very kind, and I've enjoyed talking to them so far. What do you think New Death should happen with these keepies?
I think they should be kept separately from each other in the hands of people that are trusted by all. I also think they should be kept with people who maybe don't necessarily want them. I've noticed the air djinn has been awfully quiet.
Yes, I'm here as an interested party, but I don't particularly have any interest in this situation. I would be happy, and he looks like directly at Bropsy. He's like, should I talk? Like he's literally asking permission from Bropsy. Like, do we want this? Like he's just kind of like sitting there, like, do we want to keep this? Like, what can we do? And he's looking at you for context clues as he keeps talking. So do you send him any context clues, like your eyes or anything?
Yes, I guess.
Well, you know, the Sky Cities are a good place. They're beyond the rains at the moment. With the current situation and the way the rains are coming down, it might be safe to place it in a place, considering that we don't know much about what's going on, where Northought's influence, and especially the influence of an unknown weather event, could be avoided. It might be a good place to hide within the Sky Castles.
Since when is rain unknown weather events?
They look at you for a second.
Doctor's like, fuck yeah! It rains everywhere! The fuck are you all complaining
Finally,
about?
someone's asking the smart questions.
And then Lord Iris says, thank you, Brocktru, for your impeccable guidance on the situation. Yes, it is true that rain happens everywhere. However, in Selindor, this is the first time in its inception in which rain has fallen from the skies. The rest of the water is moved via aquifers, and whatever those things are, water bodies, he knows the answer, but I don't. The DM for water that shoots up through.
Geysers?
No, it's not a geyser. It's a particular type of underground water feature in which the water goes up through pressure. Anyways, and then comes out of a spring. But anyways, he says, it is via that we have irrigated our plants up to this point. Rain does not normally fall in Selindor. With every turn that comes, the mists move, but this is the first time they've consolidated into clouds. The rest of the mist did not, as far as we have reports, change the structure to anywhere in Selindor when it comes to the creation of new dungeons and or portals to different realms. But this is a discussion that we will have at a later time.
Right, it's rain, the dangerous rain.
We've also got like raised his little like mushroom hand.
Yes, Grim.
But do we know that the rain is bad?
Our reports so far on the rain is that it has had a slight and not insignificant change to Selindor's topography beyond the Nexus and the Outer Nexium. The plains outside of Selindor have taken to some scorched earth. Other areas have started growing new plants and wildlife that were not present in Selindor before. There is a glade that we have seen where a new water feature, something akin to a lake, is forming. At the time, we do not know whether or not these are good or bad changes, but they seem to suggest that the planes are interacting more and melding more within Selindor.
Because when we took Zephyros out of the other place, all the air went away, and now we have the water guy, and so like, I don't know, he just lost one of himself, so maybe he's crying, and that's what's going on,
The assumption based on what you've said so far leads me to believe that Northot has come into possession of the third aspect of Ager. I believe that this is a new function that Selindor has gained by collecting him.
You think it's Northot?
I do.
But wasn't it a different giant?
No.
Yes, they mentioned twisty tentacles.
It was the tentacle thing that was...
The creature...
I'm very intrigued and would love to hear more about this.
Creature that took over the cauldron is the Black Goat of the Woods.
That. Yes, thank you.
It seemed to be conflicting with Northot in the portal space. But I don't know who won that fight, or if Northot was able to slip in between.
In a situation, and considering the way that things have changed currently, if the other tentacled beast is the one that came to claim him, and they did not start working together, that may or may not be a benefit to us. Judging by the change that has happened here within Selindor, it leads me to believe that Northot has received that change. But I could be wrong. It has happened before.
We did see them fight each other too, though, right? When we were going through the cauldron. Is that what happened?
When we were exiting.
If they were fighting, you should have stayed and kicked their asses.
Oh, I think
That's what I said.
Plain tactics. They fight, you kill.
We were severely outmatched and completely out of resources at that point in the day.
What is this one
like
here?
in Northot's dimension. So,
All of you silence. I want to hear from the lizard.
What?
You seem to be the only one here with a smart brain.
He knows he's not the smart one, so he's very conflicted at the moment.
I think we should hear your thoughts on the rain.
It's wet.
Yeah.
But everyone else seems fascinated by it too.
Fascinated, indeed. We should look into this fascination others have of the rain.
Thank you for your keen insight once again, brother. And thank you for everything. He kind of like narrows his eyes here. Like...
You're welcome.
Great. Well, moving forward, Mr. Gold. Oh, yes. Well, I do agree quite well with what Town has said so far. I believe that since one isn't currently considered neutral hands, as we all know, with Lord Primus, and you see his like mustache just like fucking doing a dance on his face while he's talking. I think that it's important that in the vein of fellowship and the God, I can't talk today. and the interest of brotherhood, I think it is important that somebody of the higher and lower planes within the realms of the outer planes should be in holding, so that we can all agree, as we have over all this time. However, I think currently it is more important that those who have a track record of not performing evil deeds get first hand in holding on to it.
I think that you are probably the dumbest, smallest, weakest creature I've ever seen in my entire life. And if you want to hold on to it, fantastic. I'll be right there. Waiting for your inevitable death so that I can take it back to me and mine.
So how's Northot not won already, guys? I don't...
'Cause we're strong.
Please, calm down, everyone.
I will not be relinquishing this into the hands of people who are going to squabble over it or make death threats about it.
She looks at you and her head twists and jerks, and she goes,
Oh, look at this one. You're new. So I'll let that one slide and not write you in my little book of things to remember.
I think it is also worth noting that whoever should take the keys might be putting themselves and their people in danger. We've already seen that Northot's people are very interested in acquiring them for themselves.
This is true. Which is why I think that we should give it to one of the most powerful people here on the council, and the one most capable of holding on to precious artifacts.
Agreed. Which is why Ord should receive this piece of the key. How many species have you created?
Well, good. I'm glad we're all on the same page then.
Putting it to the vote. Is there a consensus? They talk to each other and they nod. And then Geb says, just said his actual name. Lord Rock says,
I agree. I think this is good. Yeah. Ord, you should take the piece. We have enough going on in the Crystal Undercity, and I believe that he would be keen to hold it. Good. I'll get working on making a safe place here within Selindor, well constructed. Don't worry. I'll have it ready to go in a few days. No reason for you all to fret.
good. In the meantime, New Death, you will hold on to it till you receive a message from Ord. When you will receive that message, you shall head forthwith to the Nexus to relinquish the key into his possession.
Sure.
Now that that has been put out of the way, remember all, the rain is something to be discussed when the entire council is here and has nothing really to do with New Death at this point. So can we move on from that? Agreed all around? And you see the guy who's like basically asleep in his chair of bones just kind of sits up for a second. And then resettles. Very well, we shall proceed. Everybody stops and looks when he started to sit up, by the way. Like, it was just silence in the whole room. They all just like watching him. And then when he resettled, they were like, okay.
Oh god, we woke him. Oh, no, he's good.
Next order of business. The Selindor Academy Interscholastic Pentathlon. As you all well know, you were recruited into specific schools, 3 of you, into a specific school.
Run by one of my kids.
Yes, or would you like to take over?
Oi, I'll take over. Oh, listen here, you're a bunch of nerds, as far as I've been hearing. And the most important thing about nerds is that they go to the damn school, and they're let in by Primus. Primus is a shady fuck. We all know it. We're not sure exactly what he's thinking, and he might claim to be neutral, but if it's not in the name of order, well, there's no reason he wouldn't slip into the evil side as well. No offense to all of you who are truly evil.
Thank you.
Now listen. We want you all to look into something while you're doing these competitions. And we want you to be bait.
Oh, great. Bait. I love being bait.
In Varuna, school within Selindor, we know have ties to Northop.
We suspect have ties to Northop. And, as far as we are aware, they only come out or participate in events during these pentathlons. They seem to have interest in how this research center and this place of knowledge has progressed and what things they might have created in effect to the fight against Northot seems more specific. But we've seen them come out again and again for creatures of interest, of which your party is fraught. Every single one of you has a reason to turn the head of a group such as this, or as many of us have come to believe, a cult. That seems to be the situation, as far as the rest of us can tell, but nobody knows for sure.
Oh, listen to all this talking and bittering. The important thing is that we wish for you all to do as you do. Continue to do your...
You want us to come out and be public and make a ruckus and draw attention and see
More importantly, we want you to win. Because we're going to be putting something big on the line.
And he pulls out a cube, and he sets it straight down on his throne. You see Ort does.
I've always wanted a cube.
Oh, this particular cube is a Tesseract cube. This particular one is a non-Euclidean gate. Take you anywhere in the cosmos. This is something, and he pats it, I made. And something that can go all the way to the far realm, should you choose. If this cult belongs to Northard, them and theirs, well, there's a chance they might like it. But if they're just worshipping him and they want to go see the fuck, they're gonna really want it. This is gonna help us differentiate the two. But more importantly, assuming you win, we'd like you to keep it, take it, and act as bait. And that'll be the most crucial time to catch them. But more importantly, if your performance is done well, and I want you to really flaunt what makes you special. Either you got twisty arms and shit, make use of that. They love that. They fucking love tentacles and shit. Look at that go. Love it. Not actually, but in the situation.
Yes, and I believe one of you is, I've been informed, a reborn corpse of Northot himself. They should really, really, really enjoy that.
Right.
Is that like common knowledge now?
The council has been made privy to the information, yes. Common knowledge? No. But if there is some way that you could flash a bit of your... Well, let's face it, the more I look at you, the more you're... You notice, like, looking at Orin right now, his horns have gotten a little longer and a little more goat-like.
I forgot he had horns.
It's becoming more apparent as time passes. It shouldn't take much work for you to catch their interest.
Perhaps he's gonna, like, grab his arm.
This is a dangerous mission, and you have every right to refuse. We are here to give you this task, knowing that you are all fighting on the front lines anyways. And I, for one, will steer the weave away from you. Steer it to others within the competition. It will require a bit of subtlety. But hopefully we can keep Northot from seeing you directly. And should he see you directly, it will inform us even more if he acts through Inveruna in any capacity, or if he would approach you himself.
Right.
We don't know why Primus allows Inveruna to act as they do, to keep them silent and not inform us of what it is they work on. We all know their connection to Northot, but we don't know what it is. Even if under all other circumstances you fail to bring them out, any amount of investigative knowledge that you're able to procure, bring before the council at the end of each day. At this time, we allow you to choose a liaison. Someone that you wish to report directly to the council, as you receive reports from them. If there's an individual you have in mind, please speak now. Otherwise, we can give you some options from those present here, and I'm sure they all have individuals that they would wish to put forward.
I think there's one very obvious one, if we'll entertain his return into your circle, if he is amenable to it.
Are we all supposed to fucking know what she's talking about? She speaks of Valhadrin. Oh, I remember him.
I thought she was talking about shoot.
He's a cheeky fuck. I remember him. Didn't he almost become a god, but then didn't? Yes, I believe that was something that happened in the past. I mean, he's kind of like a god, kind of not a demigod, not a demigod. I like it. He knows his place, right below us.
If he accepts.
I find this amenable.
As do I.
Fine. I suppose as long as he's just Feyborn, it's all right.
And it's unanimous.
Well, do
I
our
have a
best.
question for the council. Are any of you aware of the portal space in Selindor?
We are all aware of how the travel happens.
Are you aware of what is traveling within it?
We all know that there's danger within traveling through the created methods of Selindor itself. There have been those that are lost. We all know that is the means by which the goats travel. Why?
Well, anyone who comes into contact with me during travel can see the avatars traveling through the portal space.
Interesting. I feel like this could make for quite a good bit of spy work indeed.
If we wanted to get in Varuna's attention, I feel if I traveled with one through the portal space, they could see their avatar.
A form of subterfuge in which you put yourself in the harm's way. Are you not going to be revealing yourself to Northought directly as well, though? It would be hard to hide him.
He can see
Every
me
time you into the
anyways.
weave, I have a terrible time trying to hide you. You're right in the very center of his eye.
Would we not also be putting that person in danger if they are not an actual threat?
If they worship him, I don't see why they would be in danger.
The information that we have currently gleaned seems to suggest that they either worship him, serve him, or perhaps there is, in fact, an incarnation of Northought hidden within Selindor Academy itself. And they are all acting as minions or appendages. Under no circumstances or any of these situations, based on our reconnaissance, would they be considered something to let live.
His one eye stares at you, and you can just see it kind of like just flashing with just like this light behind it.
Trust me, I, for one, am very rarely wrong.
Then I guess that's up to you, she says to Orin.
I believe that this is a sort of devil may care approach. Although it might be good, perhaps we should wait until the last day to perform such a high maneuvering procedure. Wait until some of our less dangerous plans have either come to fruition or failed. But perhaps during your work, you can do what you can to befriend them so that this plan becomes possible, and we are all ready on either side of transit to do what we can to aid you.
Right.
Anything you can do to, well, investigate. It's entirely up to you.
Just have
Your
to occasionally slip in a Hail Hydra and see what they do.
I'll pretend I know what that means. Well,
Just an occasional bah goat.
I'm satisfied, Primus.
Thank you, Mr. Gold. It is good to know you are satisfied.
Well, Ord, Mr. Gold, Tau. He looks over at the guy sleeping in the chair. Well, all present, he says. Havar's just like, I guess I'm just an all present. If we are all in agreement, they all sort of like either raise a hand or nod or just kind of. You hear the orc is just like.
Well, there's two asleep.
Great. Wonderful. I will send information about Hadron and pull him off the investigation of the Cauldron of Life, and he will be reporting to you by the end of the day. He will then be your liaison going forward. If there's anything that you need, any resources required, please enter as many competitions as you can, and when you do whatever you can to interact as much as possible with those of Inferuna. We're putting our first true mission on top of you when it comes to trusting you with...
Everything else was an accident.
sensitive. Well, you thrust yourselves into missions all your own. This one is a direct order from the council.
We'll do our best.
I know you will. Very well. If there are no other questions and complaints, this council meeting is adjourned. Is at that moment you realize that in this sort of shiny shell interior of this space, you didn't realize it while you were having this conversation, but there were other people there, hiding within the walls almost, like within the shimmer, and you can hear sort of like a caucus of noise as individuals are no longer there anymore.
There was an audience this whole time.
There always is. Those are higher-ups, or gods, or individuals that rest within the different realms. These are just the representatives they've chosen.
Right.
We all know Lord Ord arriving here. He does not wish to be a part of this council, but the rest of the Mount Celestia comes off as a bit pompous, even compared to him.
Right. Kind of over at Propsy. Speaking of Mount Celestia. Want to visit?
There's a... You guys hear the stick walking towards you guys, and the bird, and he's like feeding it pellets.
He's like, did you all need a ride back down, or would you be taking another disc? I'm just offering because I do not wish for you to be stranded here. The inevitables can be so touchy.
I just look up at Lord Iris, like, is there anything else we need to talk about kind of expression?
He looks at you and he goes,
I just nodded and I'm like, we'll gladly accept your hospitality again. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful.
Tartarus, was it?
This way, then.
Tartarus, was it? Is that what he called you?
What? What are you saying?
He called him Tartarus during the meeting?
No, his name is Humphrey.
Humphrey? Okay.
Tartarus is
The other guy.
A plane
Right, okay.
that Tal represents is Tartarus.
Ah, okay. It was unclear who was talking to who at what point.
I'm sorry, my voices are really bad today. I need water. I have no water. I'm thirsty. I'm tired.
Can I request that next time that there's like a council meeting, you get like little paper cutouts for each person, and then you don't have to
You
hold
just
it in
move
front
them
of your
around
face,
while-
but just like have it next to your face while you're talking. So like,
I'm sorry.
I want the little whole like small puppet show.
Yeah.
I
We
did
do
the
sock
best I could.
puppets.
I'm sorry, guys. So yeah, there's
Oh,
the orc goes,
yeah.
Is the meeting over? Damn.
and he walks over. He's like a full 9 feet tall orc. Like he is huge.
Big boy.
He walks over and he puts a big fucking meaty hand on your shoulder, and he goes,
Hey, want to fight?
The eyes just like light up. He's like, "What? What?
I don't know. You look kind of strong.
Like each other, or like?"
Yeah, one big punch. I punch you? Well, you punch me first, just in case.
You're just gonna like look over his shoulder, like back at the group, like,
Look, we can
You
heal you,
always
but we
wanted.
can't pick you up off of paste on the ground, so you know.
One hit each. You hit me, I hit you.
I mean, even if you lose, it'd be an experience.
I cast Enhance Ability on Mitnir to give him +2 strength.
You go to do that, and he looks at you, and his eyes turn red.
He goes, cut that shit out.
What? It's how we do it on the battlefield.
We're a team. We don't
I
do
wanna know
solo
what
fights.
He can do.
All right.
And he just looks at you.
I
and he
drop concentration.
Good. I want to know if this one's brave enough to punch Brog True.
I'm gonna rage and sucker punch him before he even finishes saying that.
Hell yeah! Make your attack roll.
Let's see. So it'd be unarmed, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. So what's rage? Fuck.
Kidney punch.
I want to imagine that it was right when this guy said, I want to see if this one's Brit.
Yeah, basically as you say it, I'm just like, oh.
Nice.
Let's see, just 3 damage. Okay, I was seeing if there's any to hit or anything. Just a straight hit, or do I get any advantage or anything? Like,
No, I'm just hitting him.
it's not bad. That's a 31.
Yeah, you punch him squarely in the jaw. Do you roll damage, or is it just 3 points of damage?
I will. It's 9 points of damage. Is the flat unarmed strike?
Hell yeah!
+3 for rage, so 12.
So you punch him in the face, and it cracks into his jaw. You can feel like your fist hit him, and it's like punching a fucking mountain. Like it's like punching rocks, and you hit him.
I'm gonna
right
try
in the jaw.
not to let that show. Just like strip
And
him.
his head just goes and moves slightly. He goes,
You're not half bad.
and then he just raises his arm, and you watch as the muscles start rippling, and he's gonna make an attack roll.
It was like when Thanos punched
Now is when you
Captain
should
Marvel
cast
and it
Enhance
did
Ability.
shit all.
Reaction. I'm gonna do
Armor of Agathis.
yeah,
Okay.
just like a sheen, just like up over his head, like with the layer of ice.
It's 32 points of bludgeoning damage.
Halved because of rage.
Half because of rage, and then Armor of Agathis hits it, and the ice comes off onto his fist, and he's like,
You're alive! So you're not completely weak.
Kind of like blinks, like that was his fist.
Nice. I like this one. If you're ever on Akron, I'd love to meet you on the battlefield.
Akron, that's where Buddy is.
Buddy?
The Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Big lizard,
You
lots of
know
teeth.
Rexy?
Yeah!
I love Rexy! First T-Rex shows up on the battlefield. I fought with him so many times. He's strong!
He's our friend. It's kind
He's
of our
your
fault
friend.
he's there.
Oh,
he picks you up with one hand, and he tosses you up in the air. So
he's like, I love Rexy!
and he catches you, and he goes,
Hey, you're not half bad.
he's kind of shaking you.
Said he's like, yeah, you're not half bad either.
And he sets
I
you
have an
down.
important question.
How
big is this area?
This area, like it's probably about 100 feet across, and you can't tell how tall it is.
Okay, but tall.
Yeah, like 40, 50 feet.
I turn into a T-Rex.
Hey! Just like Rexy. Only you're pink. I like it.
Insert T-Rex sounds.
Any
It's like-
friend of Rexy's is a friend of ours.
Yeah, I saw him meet a guy. Let's right in half. Big motherfucker too.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear he's happy out there.
Oh yeah, I rode him into battle once.
Nice.
So
We're
did
good
we.
friends.
Like, so did we, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to grab some tea sometime. Feel free to head over to my embassy whenever you get a chance. I hate it there.
We'll see if we can liven the place up a bit. How about that?
Yeah. We can just do a 1-on-1, 3. You guys. 1 on you guys.
Nice.
Well, I'm off.
Take care.
As he walks by, he's like,
How's it going, Goldie?
he's like, quite well, friend. Did you enjoy punching him?
Yeah, it was nice. I'll punch you someday.
Said, your hand would break.
Puh.
They just walk out together. So he's like, literally, he comes up to like his shin.
Wait, does that mean I get a chance to punch the other guy too sometime?
I think you only get to punch people if they ask first.
I'm not entirely sure if you want to punch Mr. Gold. He may seem small, but he's very powerful. Brogtrue boasts great strength as well.
Yeah, I am impressed you're not a pancake minion. I was expecting... I mean, I've seen you take some hits, so I shouldn't be surprised, but I didn't know what to expect from, like, an actual god, so...
Wait, that was a
Oh.
god?
Don't worry, Brogtrue is a lot weaker here than he is in his normal form.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, yes, that's fair.
When he stands
can
full height
relate.
within Acheron, he is, well, I believe about the size of your pink large chicken here.
Right.
He would ride that thing like a normal-sized horse.
I want to make a religion check to see if I know who Humphrey is.
Sure.
Oh, never mind. I rolled a 4. For an 11.
He's an old man.
He's an old man. I don't know. I just see Eye Patch and Raven, and I get to wondering.
Yeah, it's a pretty good bet. And he just walks with you guys. He's like,
Oh, so, with me?
Lord Iris, you see he's talking to Tal, who is like nervously like yelling at him.
Do I see a family resemblance?
No.
Okay.
How's
checking.
the-
Tal's the one
Ivy-
with the black hair like hanging over her face.
Yeah.
That was
Oh, he's yelling at everyone.
She was
no,
like,
she's from Tartarus.
yeah, but she said something about like, well, if it's Feyborn, then I can't be mad about it. So I was like, are you?
Oh no.
Are you family? You might be family.
No, she's
Yeah.
no.
I figured. That comment made me suspicious. So I had to check.
As you guys are passing through the circle, you see like you're about to like pass through the area where the guy's sleeping.
Hmm.
And,
Yeah. What's his deal? Does he
Oh.
actually seem to be asleep?
He's just kind of like laying there. His eyes are closed. He seems asleep. It's like,
Well,
Is he always like that?
He's usually pretty quiet. Sometimes he gets a little bit awake, but most of the time he just has the worst time in Selindor.
Can we tell what the bones are bones of?
make me a medicine check.
Oh, I can make a medicine check. 26.
You say Grims
16.
knows his bones.
From the bones that you see there, none of them belong to a non-intelligent race.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
oh, those are smarty pants bones.
Those are bones of my enemy's bones.
And as he passes by, you can see like the old man kind of like looks side-eyed at the sleeping man as he passes by. And only Lord Iris walks up after you guys have left, like are on your way out. You see Lord Iris walks over and he puts a hand on the shoulder of the one that's in the thing. You hear as he wakes up, and he starts to move, and the rust-colored light flickers, and then you hear this voice going,
Good morning, brother.
and then it closes.
Wait, that's your uncle.
Unky!
And the door closes, and he's like, "Oh, come with me, guys." And you see Ord making his way to what looks to be a forge on a like disc, like just full-on forge on a disc, and you can see that there's lava cycling through the forge, keeping it hot. And he's got a sword that he is currently working on, and he just gets on there and he's like, ding, ding. And as each time he hits the hammer, it's like I sang ting, but it like reverberates throughout the entire space, like. And he says, "Oh, good luck, guys." No, he doesn't say it like that, though.
Yeah.
Good luck, fellas. I believe in you.
Thank you.
Orin, make me an insight check.
Oh, that thing I rarely ever do.
Yeah. You're the most concerned party and most familiar with the situation.
His hammering almost sounds as good as the guy in the Grog village.
21.
21. You recognize a particular orb that is inset into the greatsword that he is crafting.
Oh, nice.
So you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yep. All right.
I mean, I think
Keeping secrets from the party? What's the orb?
It's the fire giant.
Fire
Yeah.
giant fraction.
Ah!
As you guys get on to the old man's little black sand, there's like you can see like there's a little tree growing kind of out of it, but like the leaves are like sort of dark, and he's just like, "Oh, someday I will get you to grow." And then his raven just kind of like skips off onto it, and he goes, "So," and begins to lower the way back down.
New Death is a very good name. Hopes Endurance, right?
Yes, we thought it was appropriate.
Mhm.
That ding was the dwarf hitting the hammer.
Yeah.
Right.
I appreciate all the work that you have all been doing up to this point. It's impressive.
Thank you.
Mm.
We did not set out to do all this or join this cause, but we really didn't want to get eaten by a goat monster, so here we are.
Well, fear is a good motivator, but so is piety and true goodness, which I
Love
see
for your friends.
Yeah. You're a good group, I can tell just from a cursory glance.
Thank
Most of you are not even that self-centered or evil. I appreciate that. But you are all still very weak. There is a lot of power to be gained going forward. It is important as you take on these trials that you remember that you are not alone. And it is all right to call for help when you need it.
An offer.
Just like shout Humphrey or something. Is that what we?
Do not worry. I'm watching. And if it is someplace where I have any amount of dominion, call for my help. And if I'm available, I will lend some aid.
Thank you. That means a lot. We know we're in way over our heads. But
It is of men to write legends. It is of gods to take the glory. I wish for this to change.
As long as we're all still around to argue about it, then I'll be happy.
I agree with the sentiment. Although I could use a nice rest myself someday. I still feel a bit young for the grave.
Well, I hope it doesn't find you until you're ready for it then. And that you get a rest in the meantime.
Well, I've met it before, don't worry. But, well, there are many young ones to look after as well, are there not?
I suppose.
Gabe, Gobi, Tracy.
Grim just lists every child he's ever met.
His eye kind of like glows golden for a second. He says,
They're good children. They're currently in very good hands.
Yeah, they're nice guys. That Gabe, though, man, he can really wreck this.
And child of lava. Be well. And remember that you are not alone. And, well, remember that to children, you are to them what we are to you. Do not abandon them. Keep them in your hearts and your mind. And when they ask for help, keep the call.
Of course.
Always.
Thank you so much. It was so nice to meet you.
as a Doxy says,
Well, it was nice to meet you as well.
Wait, I have a question.
Hmm.
Does your bird have a name?
Yes, let me Google it.
I was gonna give the bird a platinum piece and give it little sketches on its head before we go.
You're not gonna give it a good berry? Who are
I
you?
mean, give it it's a
Shiny.
They like
Give it
shiny
something
things.
shiny.
But I likes both.
So I give him a platinum piece and I give him little pets on his head.
This one is Moonin. Mugen is not around at the moment.
Oh.
He is off viewing the world in my stead. But I keep Moonin here to keep an eye on things for me within Selindor. He's a good bird.
give him a platinum piece. He takes it and just like takes it and pulls it and puts it right in the eye of the skull that's on there.
There you go.
And then just kind of admires it for a second.
Good bird.
Let me mark that off my.
Thank you. I'm sure Moonin will appreciate it.
We love birds. And I give Bropsy a
Like
little rub
shiny
on the
things.
head.
Well,
Don't hear me say oh.
if there's nothing else, I must depart.
And you can see that you guys are already docked on the lower
Yeah,
side.
yeah, no, we're getting. Take care.
Take care. And if you run into any of my children out there, well, be wary. They are even more rambunctious than you are.
We'll keep our
The
eyes
disc
peeled.
lifts up into the sky.
I like him.
Mm-mm.
I wasn't expecting to meet anybody I liked out here. And he could be as duplicitous as the rest of them. Who knows if any of
I don't-
that's...
I don't know. Is he well known enough in this universe that we would even think to know of him?
He's not super well known in this universe, no.
Okay. I figured it probably wasn't worth like religion checking because he's probably
Time to go
Well, you
to
can
the
do a religion check
library
if
and
you
look
want.
up
He still-
Humphreys.
He still exists within.
no.
Like,
I rolled a
the thing.
23.
23? You know who he is. It's up to you if you want to share.
I'm just
Based
he's a
on-
nice guy. I'll just maybe I guess maybe then we'll just say that the name of the bird maybe is what made me think of it. So
Yeah. All right. So, as you guys depart into the Nexus proper, I want to take a little break because I need some water.
I need to get rid of some water.
So, guys,
break
we'll just do your rag
time.
in 5 minutes. That'll give me a second to get my throat back and ideally liven up a little bit. Thanks for
Back in
hanging out. We'll be back in 5.
It makes a great paperweight.
Yeah. A nightlight. We're back, by the way.
Oh, we're back. Hey guys, we're back. So, as you guys exit the Nexus, it's up to you whether or not you want to take teleportation circles back to the tower or if you want to go somewhere else. The world is yours. All of Selindor is your oyster for the next 2 weeks. Although I would probably say before then you should probably check in with your respective schools and try to get into some competitions.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably what we should go do is catch up on our schoolwork that we missed during the week we were gone and get our names
so this
in.
would be a good chance to find out about any of the things if you do not actually know how they work. Please feel free to go talk to your guidance counselors.
Do we have guidance counselors in my school? I don't know.
You know what? I think that there are guidance counselors that are like, they're literally just people, or not people, but people that are just like chilling around the Prime catalog that you could talk to that just help you understand classes or specifically nature of things. So,
well, I'm gonna have Brogy help me with my spell.
Okay. So you're just heading in the portal back to Selindor Academy.
And I'm gonna try and sign up for my stuff, and I'll work with Brogy on getting things ready for my spell.
Okay, cool.
We can make it work.
So yeah, that's gonna take most of your time if that's what you're working on.
It's probably gonna take all of my time. Yeah.
So you tell Brogy and Willow probably that you want to enter this competition. Is there any other competitions? You were also doing the alchemy one, or no?
Yes, the alchemy one. I'm probably not going to be as good at that one, but
okay. So yeah, you talk to Brogy, and Brogy's like, Brogy was also thinking about doing alchemy, the alchemy, because I know the good mushroom stuff. But Brogy will consider the king of mushrooms.
Did you see that I am made of mushrooms now?
You are looking very mushroomy. I don't want to cut you. Oh, God.
They used to be growing on me. Now they're growing in me.
Yeah, you're looking very sporadic, sir.
Right.
Brogy likes it.
You want to help me unravel the secrets of immortality?
He looks at you with his little boggle eyes are bogging out. They look like he's super eyes. They're so wide, like puppy dog eyes, and he's just like,
Brogy wants nothing more.
Okay, let's go figure it out.
I just realized he's your Igor.
So you and Brogy head up to the, I assume just like the mushroom floor and probably up to the alchemy floor and start fucking with shit. So, I don't know. So I'm going to say for the first day, I want you to do me some research. That's going to be the biggest thing. You're going to be spending some time in the halls of nascency, and you're going to be spending time here. So for the halls of nascency, I would like you to give me an investigation check to see if you can pull up a relevant literature to make what you're looking for.
Me, 21. Oh, that's good.
21. You actually do, in fact, find some books and find a wizard spell that is eerily similar to what it is that you wish to create. However, it requires a completely different set of arcane know-how than what you were capable of. So using that as a basis, though, you do begin to think of ways where you can make this particular spell come into fruition. And you have a good starting point because there is a spell that is similar enough to give you a basis.
Just the different materials and catalysts.
Significantly different materials and catalysts. And in theory, very different requirements as well. And the effect is different as well when it comes to substance, significantly different. So as you begin to get that information, you should give me one more, as you probably going to be spending the rest of the day trying to get materials together. So for that, I want you to do me an Arcana check.
I'm also not very good at Arcana, surprisingly. So,
yeah,
17.
17? You do a pretty decent job. Between you and Brogy, you're able to find a lot of the materials that you think that you're going to need to get started, and you begin growing things. So that is your first day of work. You will have the evening to rejoin for RP, but that is what you're going to be spending most of your day doing.
And I'll call Grishna as needed if we get stuck and stuff.
If there's any regions you need to like get things going,
right? Yeah. Or she just happens to know, like.
For what spores are not her thing.
No, I know, but I more mean like of like different reagents that would help to be
that would help with the process. Yeah. I mean, she's got the almanac that she gave you, and then there's the rest of that you can sort of look into for. So she'll definitely aid you if you require, because she loves your spirit of experimenting on pigs. She loves that you just handed her a pig and said, make it big, and paid her a lot of money to do it. Okay. So that is what we've got Grim working on. Who's next?
We're just doing the day, like today?
I mean, yeah, he's working on his project for the day. So like that's going to take him until evening when you guys can re-meet if you want to convene for some RP stuff. But this is like getting down to business. What would you guys like to do with your first day of business? 14 days. This is day 14 out from the actual competition started day, which is on Farron's Day.
I'm probably going to go sign up for some classes.
Okay. Are there any particular classes you were looking for?
There's several. So one on enchanting, one on artificer, and one on hand-to-hand combat.
Hand-to-hand combat. It's easy enough to find these within the Prime catalog, although a lot of classes are being... there's not a lot of classes being offered. A lot of them are on hold, while individuals are working on their projects, their many projects, heading into the pentathlon, as it is only 2 weeks away. As far as like rudimentary artificer classes, most of them seem to be, as you head into them, talking about the pentathlon. Say the artificer's expose is coming up in this year's pentathlon, and we have many important things to witness. Each school will be participating with one invention in which multiple individuals might be the sponsors or creators of. But the most important thing to look into is our understanding of what artificing is. So, artificing, the key Latin root word of art. He just begins going into like, what is artificing, and like how is it? What is this art, and like the basis of understanding what the creation of magical items are, and how runes work, and how the different methods of creating artificing, like enchanted items. And enchanting itself is artificing in essence. The difference is simply one going for a more scientific approach and one going for a more arcanic approach. Those are the only true differences, and they bleed together because magic and science within Selindor is viewed as like a similar course of study. It's just the application of which one is brought in more with equation, and one is brought in more with studying of ancient symbols and the use of ancient language.
I feel like with my fracture, I'm making them more mechanical.
Yeah, when it comes between enchanting and artificing, you find yourself looking at artificing as a much more kindred version of magic item creation. And then hand-to-hand combat, there's just brawling rooms, and you can just go there and beat the shit out of anybody you want, and there's instructors. So there are a few of those set up. Silverwing Academy is hosting a hand-to-hand combat.
Mitnir waves at Arn as
seminar.
he walks in.
There you do run into a couple of groups, and there's what appears to be like a silver metallic looking dragonborn who says,
Right then, is everyone ready? Today we will learn the ancient art of hand-to-hand combat via the draconic arts. Dragon Claw Strike is a pivotal used material.
it just starts going into it, and shows like how to rip the throat out of the dummy. She just like uses her claws and just rips the throat out.
Now for you non-sharp fingered individuals, there are many other ways to accomplish the same goal.
And she starts, getting into like the different ways to kill a man with your bare hands. It is a very informative and very brutal class. And if you guys want, then you can pair together and spar and beat the shit out of each other. Unless there's anything special you would like to do, we will just say that that's how you guys spend your afternoon. Is there anything else, Mitnir, you did taking that class? Are there any other classes or anything else you'd like to be doing during this time?
That was a class? What?
You just walked in.
There were people fighting like you're.
I just heard fists hitting meat, and I showed up.
I guess he's going to. Do we sign up now? Are we waiting to sign up? What's that part?
It's entirely up to you guys how you want to handle this, but you would need to be speaking with Headmaster Eli. But it's understood that you guys are going to be participating in events during this competition, as that was the reason you were allowed into the school from the beginning.
So the invention thing, that also has to be made before the date? Like we're displaying it, not making it on the date, right?
Your invention? Yeah, you
like
would need to
we make something.
You need to have it before the date, have a prototype ready to go. But if you want to spend some time talking to people about the pentathlon and like learning what the requirements are, you can do that.
Yeah, that's going to be at least a chunk of his day. All
right, then make an investigation check for me.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think I'm already signed up for the invention part.
That's
a
4.
It's a 4. So you find yourself talking to a guy who's like, "Oh yeah, man, like there's like a box one, and you're like trying to get in the box. Like what's in there? You don't know. And sometimes it's like really cool shit, but sometimes, and of course he's in a yellow robe with a mushroom on it. But sometimes, like you can like you open it up and there's like, whoa, you know what I mean? And then like, wait, what was your question?
I mean, you're like trying to walk something. Just like, I learned nothing.
Yeah, everybody seems pretty busy on what they're working on. But with the inventions, what you glean from most individuals is that, that most people have been preparing for this for months, if not like the entire scholastic
He's going to
year.
go spend part of the day, then like the last part or whatever, to go find a forge and just start doing some metalworking on like a knife. Not necessarily a dagger, just like a knife.
So that would be the halls of nascency. So down there, you're just like looking for like an area that actually has like a functional forge that isn't occupied. Go ahead and make me. It's going to be odd. So go ahead and make me a persuasion check. This is to get space, like because there are people who dole out space, and there are a lot of people working on their creations at the moment.
That's a 9.
9 as you walk in and say, "What school are you working for?"
The High Realm Academy.
I don't have you listed here in their artificers group.
Because I'm not an artificer.
We don't have a lot of time for anybody not making anything for the competition to have space allotted out. Come back when you have approval from your school as listed artificer for the artificer expose, and then you will have space allotted to you in time. You needed to be signing up for this weeks ago, my dude.
Hey, Aaron, Can you help me out?
Am I anywhere near him?
You? No. You went to the
Oh,
halls
that I
of
was
your
in that.
edition. And then you
I
went...
was in that.
You were in what?
I was gonna say I was in that place for a time.
You went to the halls of your edition. You didn't go to the halls of nascency.
Oh, I thought you said halls of nationcy.
If I did, I messed up. Halls of your edition is the library. That's where you went.
Okay. Okay, just make sure. I was gonna say,
oh, no,
if
no,
I'm
sorry.
there and I see him, I could like,
Sorry,
hey, he's
that's
with
not
me.
that's not the library. That's the classrooms where you actually study. So they went to the halls of your edition and the halls of nascency. You went to the Anathane.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was just gonna say because like I thought you said that, and I was gonna say if I was there and I saw him, I'd be like, oh, he's with me. But never mind.
Yeah, I mean, so the halls of nascency are basically just workshops where you can work on things.
Does Aaron respond at all?
I don't know.
Like I walked away. What?
Probably talking in a ring or talking in
No,
in
the seal. Yeah.
Oh, the
like
seal?
I dial you like Aaron.
Yeah, I mean,
hey,
you definitely see him calling you.
Am I in class when he's calling me?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're in the middle of the class on artificing.
I probably wouldn't answer then.
I'm
I'll
gonna
see
walk
it.
go-
But
I'm
I'll
pretty
have to
sure it's
call
under
him
the
back
name
after class.
Aaron.
He looks at you for a second and looks back at it. I don't have an Orin on here either. Or an Arin on here either. How do you spell it?
Just grabs the list.
You grab the list from him? He goes, hey,
Yeah.
hey.
I'm like read through it.
Hey. Takes, he just like tries to grab it back from you.
They misspell it all the time. It's easier just to read the list.
He looks at you and his eyes hard and he said, I'm gonna need you to back up, man. You can come back here when you've got approval.
Goes off to find approval.
Okay, so you just... Where would you like to pursue that? Were you going to pursue that and actually go talk to Eli?
Yeah.
The headmaster?
Like,
nice.
yeah.
All right, so we'll say that you're heading up there, and this is before you... You know what? I'm just going to say, just because of how bad your day's been going, Eli's not in, and this is when you get pissed, and you just go look for a place to punch things, and you end up in the class with the with Orin for the fighting thing. After walking up and down the school, forgetting where your classes are, not knowing how to use elevators, you spend most of the day walking around talking to people who refuse to give you good information. It's just a bad day for Midnir.
I was waiting for Midnir to have the list and be like, wait, what's your name? I don't see you on this list either.
Yeah. City? Propsy? What are you guys doing?
Seti will check in on the classes that she missed the past week, and so she's been studying deep speech, planar studies, and healing and resurrection magics. I think at this point she might also see the benefit in starting to take an enchanting class as well.
And you show up and you see Orin sitting there like bored out of his mind.
And so he's like, hey!
Like they start talking and the guy's like,
Enchanting! Oh, Enchanting 101! As you all know, the Artificers Expose is happening this weekend.
and it's like the same, or not this weekend, next weekend. And he's like the same like sort of spiel that the artificing class did. And then he's like,
Ancient runes are the basis of all enchanting. Language is the key to the universe and unlocking potential. It's the difference between intelligent species and monsters. The important thing is to know how to wield it, and through intention and reagents, you are able to create things of great power.
So there's like this whole speech, and
I think
need you to make me an intelligence check because he talks and he gets into this stuff. It's just like all these language things and all these runic things and all
that's
these
another
applications
5.
of magical arcana.
Guys,
Yeah,
I got smarter since last session, by the way.
You are like brain dead listening to this. Like
It's so, his voice is so high pitched. He needs some vocal training. It's so hard to listen to.
I will
listen
say,
to this
since
guy.
Orin basically grew up in temples, he's used to old people talking like this.
No, Orin, you get it. You're fine. Like, you just know that artificing is more your
Seti's
thing.
having flashbacks to the tutors she had as a kid, and she's like, "Oh,
Minnie,
this
you're
is why I
smarter than
hated
Seti."
school."
But Gagnor just wanders through that classroom. Nope, sorry, wrong place.
Yeah, so Seti probably doodles, or like she's like the minor illusion equivalent of doodling. You know.
Okay. Just making like little weird
Yeah,
illusions
like,
on the table. There's like little chibi things dancing around or something. Sure. So you head into a couple of classes. That what you'd like to do is spend your day doing some classes
and
in the halls of erudition.
pretty much until Valhadran gets in touch or is expected to be in touch or whatever, because they said something about later tonight, right?
Okay. So you've got your classes that you're waiting to be contacted.
And I mean, I think if we have to sign up for events, she has ideas for creating things, but knows she doesn't have the capacity to do that in 2 weeks. So I think she would sign up for the Wisp Wallop and the Box Breaker.
Okay. So with Wisp Wallop, you need to have a partner. In Box Breaker, you need to sign up with 2 partners.
Okay, you have to sign up as a group.
Yes.
Can I just so I'm in class
There's
with
basically like a tryout thing listed up next to the dorm room.
so while I'm in class with Orin, can I lean over and be like, all right, so I know you're doing the enchanting thing, but what other things are you? Do you want to womp some wisps with me, or break some boxes?
Yeah, I'll do both.
I think you can only pick 2 things that you can do. So if you're
They
doing,
did tell us to sign up to as many things as we can.
Yeah,
yes,
I
but
told
that's
you
2
guys
per
only did
person.
2.
Oh. Well, I mean, I'll do either then.
All right, well, why don't you do Box Breaker with me? That way we only have to find 1 more person. I'll see if I can get Minir in on it or something.
Sure.
Okay. And then I'll, at some point during the day, I'll see if I can find Minir.
Yeah, Mitnir's always everywhere.
Yeah.
Literally everywhere. He has no idea where he's going.
Everywhere you go, Mitnir is just like in the hallway, like, where is it?
Hey,
Somehow
Minir,
we see 5 of him again.
Yeah.
Part of the halls of erudition is just like knowing like where you're supposed to be going and like navigating the prime catalog. And they say if you're not intelligent enough to navigate the halls and the prime
Then
catalog,
you will wander them forever.
Then you don't deserve to be in the class. Is how they set things up. And so
Wait,
for
so
Mitnir,
how's that work? I end up in every single class.
exactly.
You're
I
too
think
smart
Minier's
for them.
pulling Hermione and like duplicating herself and going to every class.
I think he's just always lost, and he never stays in a class for more than 5 minutes.
Oh, we're not punching things? All right, I'm out. All right, so one of these times that I see him wandering, I'll stop and be like, hey, what events do you want to sign up for the competition?
I'm gonna make a thing. That's as far as I got.
Well, okay, so Oren and I need a 3rd for Box Breaker if you want to do Box Breaker with us. Or you have to enter as duos for Wisp Wallop if you want to wallop some wisps with me.
How does one wallop wisps?
Well, you hit them.
I can do that, but isn't that how one breaks a box?
It depends. The boxes might be things you break. They might be things you have to lockpick or spells you have to disenchant. So, obviously, if it needs to be broken, then you're the breaker. But
I just heard 3 examples that all are solved by breaking it.
well, maybe, yeah. Well, if you're making, you want to do that with me and Oren?
Cracks his knuckles like, I'm in.
Okay. So we have our 3 for Box Breaker. I'll sign up for that for the 3 of us.
Okay, so you go sign up in the halls of up in the High Realm Academy.
As said, he walks away, and he was like, I should go sign up to... Oh, she go.
You guys go ahead and sign up on a list. There's like a small list of other individuals who want to sign up for it as well. So there's probably like 4 or 5 different groups of 3 that have signed up for it, and you guys put yourselves down. And they say it's like tryouts are like on I'll find it. I'll find it. Watch me.
Tryouts are on an indeterminate date between now and the competition.
I feel like, Mitnir does is in class, but always ends up in classes that are actually useful to him for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But he's just never in the right
You get what you
place.
need and then you leave. Yeah.
Right. So that's why he's got all these little snippets, but it's disjointed.
Yeah, so on Mord's Day. So 3 days from now.
Okay.
Basically Monday. On Monday. Today is Friday. On Monday, they're selecting the box breaker crew.
Okay. Can I rope Bropsy into Wisp Wallop with me? Or do I have to pick someone from my own school?
It's supposed to be somebody from your own school.
I don't know anybody else. Hey Caldwell, you want to wallop some wisps?
You're gonna go to ask Caldwell?
He's the only other person I know. Or do you know anybody that would be really good at it and needs a partner?
Honestly, I'm not the best at striking. If it was I
can strike if you can make me go really, really fast.
This is my particular weapon, and you see he pulls out 2 6-shooters.
Oh, that's
He
fun.
spins them and he places them on his hips, which I believe are against the rules.
Oh, it has to be melee, right?
Yeah, you use a wallop stick, is what they call it.
Well, I can either support or strike, but if I'm going to strike, then I need somebody that can basically just make me go really fast.
Yeah, ideally, what you want in a striker is somebody who is capable of hitting as many times as possible. More attacks that they're capable of.
Am I allowed to cast spells on myself?
I mean, sure you can. Well, no, not if you're the striker. No.
Oh.
The striker is unable to do that kind of thing. So.
All right. Well, then I guess I wouldn't make the best
striker is supposed to just use their physical skills and the enchantments provided by the support. If they use any kind of magic or anything that isn't considered just an innate ability.
Well, do you know anybody that would be a really good striker but needs support?
I was like, or you could switch one of us out from Boxbreaker for.
I think I would do way better at the Wisp one.
Or do you know somebody that needs a team for Boxbreaker? Because
I don't know offhand, but if you give me a few days or maybe a week in real life, I could probably come up with something.
Okay, I have acquaintances in this school, but I don't really know anybody super well since I'm gone all the time. So,
yeah, I mean, if you're looking for somebody to fill in the role, there's certainly individuals who could pull off that situation. But
yeah, great, thank you. I appreciate the help because I'd like to participate, but I need a team first.
Yeah, I can ask around. I mean, everyone knows that you're pretty capable. I mean, heard some rumors floating around that you guys are in big with some of the top dogs up in the
oh yeah,
the big tree out there. So
yeah, well, that's where my dad lives. So
oh, nice.
It's all he's ever been good for is just dropping.
Got a nice tree house over there. That's nice.
Name drop. Wait, he lives there?
All right. Well, cool.
All right. Well,
yeah,
and
I'll
if anybody,
for you and I'll let you know if I find anything. Again,
thank you.
It's just not exactly my forte.
Yeah, I figured I'd ask, but good luck with your projects.
Yeah, man, I gotta tell you, cracking that one particular runic spell was a lot of work, took a lot out of me, and now we're moving on to balancing issues. It's weird, the stabilizers necessary to keep somebody from just completely falling flat on their face.
I will pat him on the shoulder and cast Enhance Ability and give him a +2 intelligence.
For how long?
I think it's an hour. Hang on, let me check.
Doesn't it just give them advantage on?
It gives them advantage on checks. Yeah. Sorry, a bonus. Is what I mean. What level is that? That's.
You tap him on the shoulder and do this, and he's like, "Wait a second, I think Hold up, I think
Yeah,
I
it's
just thought
just-
of something. Give me a sec. And he just like heads off like he just thought of it. Just that little tiny bit. He just
There you
thought of a
go.
good way to help stabilize the board. And
Yeah, so he has advantage on intelligence checks for the next hour.
so he runs off to the halls of decency to go work.
One way to end the conversation you don't want to be part of anymore. Give them a breakthrough.
Bropsy, what are you up to during all this?
Well, she wanted to be told what the fuck was happening. Like what each of the things are specifically.
So you're gonna go like seek out like an instruction on like what each one does, and
Yes, because she's most interested in obviously the alchemy and like the magic-y one. Like she doesn't know if there's a thing that she can do.
okay, make me an
but-
investigation check.
Just roll better than me.
Well, I feel like this is something like Seti would have had to do too, right? Because like I know out of character all this stuff, but Seti didn't. So
What? 9?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so you find a little bit more than than Minier did, but you don't get like complete instructions. Which one would you like to hear the most about? Like, I'll give you one that I will give you all information on.
I guess I should be smart and do the alchemy one.
Okay, so alchemy roulette. You end up talking to one of the creatures that sits on the side of the prime catalog. It is in fact a miniature gargoyle, and as you approach, it says,
Is there anything I can help you with?
Do you know about this alchemy roulette thing?
I know everything about the alchemy roulette.
Yeah?
Yes, and I will tell you for 1 gold coin.
Can I tell if it's being honest or if it's just trying to get
make an
money out of
insight
me?
check.
Oh boy, that's an 8.
Yeah, he's telling the truth for sure.
Okay, I give him a gold coin.
He says, wonderful. Alchemy roulette is the same every year. Each school selects 2 students that will compete over 3 days. The first day is to weed out the weak. Nearly a third of the participants are eliminated during the first round and must create a simple potion. They are given a potion, they must identify it using books or spells or whatever means they choose, and then they must replicate it within a 2-hour span. The second day is a day that tests more of their knowledge. It tests also their tenacity. They will receive a potion that it will take a full day to brew. They must identify it and brew it within a 7-hour span. During that time, they will not be able to participate in games such as Wisp Wallop, which happens to sort of liven up the day while they are participating in this all-day-long event. That will be reduced by another half of those that remain. The final 8 contestants will head into the final round. As I know, this particular final round will feature a new invention from last year's Artificer's Expose. They will be brewing a particularly, again, random potion that they will receive, but this one will be complex. But they will be provided a time dial cauldron. A cauldron that is used to accelerate the brewing process for those that know when and how to use it properly. It is a true test of skill, but if done properly, they could brew a potion that would instead take an entire week to brew, and brew it with only a few hours.
That's amazing.
This happens within the final day of the competition, and the winner of the competition is rumored to receive their own time dial cauldron.
Oh my god. You've been so helpful, thank you.
Of course. Now to give you your last bit of information.
Oh.
If you are not a full master of alchemical processes, i.e. the ability to use an alchemical kit, a poisonous kit, and an herbalist kit, you may struggle during this competition. However, if you are lucky, things will fall directly into your vein. And of course, it is not impossible to use your knowledge as an herbalist or as an alchemist to create potions of different kinds you are just minus your proficiency for those particular crafts. However, any amount of magic that you wish to use to enhance your chances in arts is allowed. As long as the brewing is done, it doesn't matter how you do it. Be aware that almanacs will be provided throughout the entirety of the competition, but they will take you time to peruse, which will hurt your chances of being one of the better brewers.
Thought about doing that competition.
Looks like I need to go take a class.
Well, thank you for the gold. He presses it to his chest and turns to stone.
Can I go take a class in alchemy?
Yeah. If you
Okay.
want. Go take an alchemy
I'm
class.
proficient in herbalism and poisoners, but not alchemy kits.
Yeah. So you got a 2/3 chance of getting the thing that you want to get, as opposed to the alchemy kit stuff. But yeah. So yeah, you can absolutely find a class and start learning some alchemy. I mean, it's not going to be enough to learn you proficiency in alchemy, but if you spend like all day for 2 weeks working on it, you could probably learn it.
Yeah? I mean, I couldn't find information on the other thing, so...
I mean, that was one check for one day.
I'll see about it tomorrow.
Yeah, but
For
you can
today,
spend-
Rapsy's just... alchemy.
Okay, so if you're gonna do that, go ahead and make me an intelligence check to start learning alchemy.
Oh, boy. 15.
Okay. You say that is a successful day of learning. You get a 2-hour course in learning alchemy. You can ask Grim how long it took him to learn alchemy. I don't remember
I'm
how many
imagining
hours he put
a
in.
while.
He was already proficient in it, but he's had how many? I mean, last that I actually took notes on. He's done more since then. The last day I had was 57 hours.
Jesus.
Yeah, so he's got 57 hours in alchemical training from alchemists so far. Which, speaking of which, we do need to pick you some potions at some point. I mean, legit need to pick you guys
That's
some potions.
probably a good idea.
Both of you need to pick potions. You need to pick some from your poisoner and herbalist because you are proficient in both of those, and you need to pick yours from your alchemicals because you're proficient in those.
Yeah, I had alchemy and herbalism for me.
Yeah, then you need to learn from both of those. The potions that you can make.
I do feel like we took each other's kits, so like... If anyone should be doing poisons, it should not be Bropsy.
Him doesn't really need poisons.
Yeah. Anyways, so moving forward,
Mushrooms can be
is there anything
poisons.
else that you guys would like to do during the day? Or moving on? Spend the rest of your day working on that, Bropsy?
Yep.
Okay. I will say that you can go to a couple alchemy classes then. Go ahead and make me 2 more rolls.
If I had more time, I would just go work on the board.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can work some more on the board. Especially, in fact, when you get there, you see that Caldwell is actually working really, really hard on it. He had a moment of inspiration. He's like, Oren, I found a way to make the board less volatile for balance.
Nice. Let's get that incorporated.
Yeah, we just use the gaseous aquam that you mentioned, and we use it for small thrusters for adjustment, and an auto balancing system that is used so that as you tilt to one side or another, it'll give it a certain amount of pressure. So if you lean your weight that way, it'll continue to balance you, but it'll allow you to turn.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
About it. All right, so you guys can continue working on that. Would you roll, Propsy?
Well, I used my enhance ability to make myself smarter. The first one got a 9, and the second one got a 21.
Okay, well, the 9, you don't really learn much from that class. It's
Yep.
an advanced potion taking class, and you don't learn
Mhm.
anything from it, but you do get an
Okay.
additional 2 hours from the other class.
Okay.
Okay. I think it requires 100 hours to completely learn alchemy.
You
That's
got 2
doable in 2
you
weeks.
can do
Yeah.
it.
No, it's not.
Just gotta roll really well.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing else in character for Propsy to be doing. Like, she'll try again tomorrow to see if somebody's available to tell her about the other thing. But I don't think she's going to be any better at the other thing, so...
Yeah,
Betty-
Green's gonna spend all day working on his spell, and then in the evenings he's gonna spend time with alchemy.
Cool.
But
So
he
as you
probably
guys
won't be very social.
make your way through that, it is about dusk time when, Seti, you get a call on your seal.
Hello.
Bro, Seti, hi. I must have prophecy. I don't remember who I was calling for a second there. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm fine. I have been informed, and I have wrapped up my dealings here. Are you all at the academy?
Yes. Well, I am. I think everyone else is. Yes.
Good. Well, I'm glad you all chose me to be your liaison.
Is that okay? I told them only if you wanted the job.
No, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but anything that lets me help you all, is.
Good, I mean-
I'm just thankful for the opportunity to feel part of the group again. In a sense, I know that's a bit presumptuous, and
It's
I'm not going to like expect anything.
no,
But
it's nice.
I'm just happy to help.
Thank you.
Yes. So I'll be checking in with your father first, and then I will be able to meet over there with you all once I have full instruction. Is there anything that you need me to pick up? Any resources that you all need? Now that I don't
Oh.
have to hide my influences, I can provide quite a bit. Information, resources as far as I think I have somewhere around 30,000 gold left in my coffers. If you all
that's okay. I think
need anything bought.
we'll just talk. We'll talk about it. Thank you, though.
Yes. Well, I will see you this evening in the banquet hall for dinner.
Sure.
I mean, the whole group. I assume. I wasn't trying
Yeah.
to like, but specifically like ask you to dinner. I mean, unless you no. Just
I will see you in the banquet hall with whoever else happens to show up. I think they're wrapped up in their studies, some of them, but
okay. I will be there with bells on. Not literally.
Right, I know.
Okay. Maybe I'll literally wear bells just in case. No. Why did that enter my head? Okay, bye. So that's close contact with Cleary.
Now said he's like,
feel
am
like
I underdressed? Am I overdressed? What's happening?
I feel like Cleary forgot to hang up, and you heard some more stuff after the call. That'd be classic.
Cleary just like rummaging around. He's like, "Where's my good robe?"
It's like, oh god, what am I going to wear?
I think yeah, said he's having the same panic now.
It's like, no, I'm not. I'm not wearing a University of Phoenix robe. I look ridiculous. Orange and blue is awful.
Said he will call Bropsy. I don't know what Bropsy's up to at this point.
We'll say that's during the class that I wasn't getting anything from.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So said he calls and is like, hey, am I interrupting anything? Can we talk?
I'll step out.
Yeah, so Cleary just called. He's going to be coming by the banquet hall for around dinner time and to discuss his new position as our liaison and whatever else is going on that we wanted to talk to him about. And I feel
Oh boy.
I don't know, like...
I'm coming.
Yes, thank you. Please, yes. I don't know what to wear, and I don't know... Everybody should be there, right? We should have everybody there. Right?
It's up to you. If you want to be alone with him, I can keep the other ones away. It's, you know.
I don't know.
Well, you got some time to think about it.
It doesn't feel like enough time.
Oh.
He said he'd be there with bells on. I don't know. Am I underdressed? Do I need to get really fancy?
I mean, it's always better to overdress than underdress.
Oh, don't tell me that, because I mean...
If it'll make you feel better, I can dress up with you so that we're just there looking like two dimes, and he just won't know what to do with himself.
Back of your mind, you see Mitnir both overdressed and underdressed. Same picture.
See, he knows how to keep it simple. Mitnir's life totally uncomplicated.
All right.
Yeah, I imagine there's some panicking for a while.
You decide what you're gonna wear.
I'm just gonna let the dice decide which way Seti's heart falls on this one. Which way her panic lands.
I mean, I always like shiny.
Well, okay, so the higher the number here, the more shiny. Okay, 14. So medium shiny on like between medium and like too much shiny. So I think she's wearing some kind of gown that feels like it's like got glitter just like into it, like spun into it.
Queen, I am here for that.
It's like if you see her out of the corner of your eye, it's just like a glittering field of stars.
Like she catches your attention, but she doesn't make you like start talking about her.
Yeah, and there's like no frills. It's just like her usual kind of like gauzy, kind of floaty, ethereal.
Okay, so as you arrive in the dining hall.
Wait, do you want Bropsy to dress up with you, or do you want me to look like shit so you look even better? Like,
well,
what do you want?
Do we land on? Do we want everybody there, or am I panicking?
There's no we here, hun. I'm just supporting you. Like,
Seti invites everybody, but then isn't clear on whether or not she actually wants them to come. So it's like, if you want to, I mean, it's not a big deal. Like, you know, we can, it's fine. I'm really nervous.
Here's what we're gonna do. I want all of you to roll an insight check. And if you roll below a 10, you can't tell that Seti wants to be there by herself.
Because Seti doesn't even know. But also, I feel like Grim's probably doing alchemy stuff. Does he even care?
I'm just gonna say
12.
It is physically impossible for me to roll lower than a 10. I can roll a 1 and still hit 10.
Well, if you roll a 1, it's still a failure.
22.
All right, you guys all pick up.
Be there anyway, so like
you're all picking up what she's throwing down. I mean, you're on the fence. You're kind of you know what she's putting down. You know that she's.
Am I supposed to be there to eat or not supposed to be there to eat? I don't.
Bropsy, having picked up the message as well, messages everybody else. We're gonna meet up in my room. It's okay. We'll have it. We'll have a spread. It's fine.
So on the one hand side, he's like, you should really be there. And then Bropsy's like, don't go.
We're gonna let them be alone. We're gonna let them figure their shit out. Like,
Mitnir calls Grim and Arin. Guys! What am I supposed to do?
I think we're going to Bropsy's tonight.
You hear the sound of like something spilling and glass breaking. Like, why are you calling me? I'm busy.
Just tell me you're not cooking.
I never cook.
Okay, fine.
Good berries. So yes, as you arrive in the banquet hall, you see that there are a lot of people there getting things, and you can see that he has already created kind of like a smorgasbord on the table, and he's got like some candles lit. and he's got place setting for 5 people, 6 people, including himself. And he's like, yes, very nice. And you look and you see he is in a very slim cut, tailored suit that looks nearly black, but you can see what look like sparkles that look like starlight, sort of sparkling on his coat. And as he turns around, you see that he has like an ascot, and he has like everything is like really form-fitting, really well trimmed. And he looks at me and goes, "You look beautiful." Wow.
I was worried I'd be underdressed, and she's like looking at the place setting, like, I don't know where everyone else is. I did invite them.
Oh, no, that's fine. Well, I'm sure they'll show up in due time.
I am gonna send Mitnick to go keep SETI company.
All right, yeah. So the next thing you know, it's just like just slams into the table.
Oh.
They're like,
Which is like
I pick him up.
It's like, oh,
Where's Mitnir?
just looks at you and just like
Licks
kind of like the
eyeball.
blank stare.
All right.
Yeah, licks
yeah,
eyeball,
licks
just kinda
its
like,
eyeball, yeah.
like ah.
I put him down on one of the plates. Give him a little napkin to teeth on.
Well, I suppose we won't be eating by ourselves. Well, shall we? And as he gestures towards the table, that's where we're going to end our session for the day.
Hey.
No, I need to see it. I want to see it.
It's
I know.
7:28. We have a 7:30 hard cutoff. I gotta put something already.
he's not even ending the stream. He's going to get. But
Hey, as long as he's not taking them off on camera, he's fine.
yeah.
And remember, he did it for the role.
He did it for the role. Good night, everybody.